going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Explosive Wonder. I'm your host, Samuel Greer. The NFL has some really terrible brands, except for two brands that I really think shouldn't change no matter what. The Buccaneers and the Panthers. They both have really good branding. Well, along with the Dolphins, but I will cover the Dolphins and explain why it's not perfect, but yeah, so that's what I'm focusing on today. Rebranding and relocating the NFL. Now, the reason why I'm talking about rebrands and relocations is because last time I announced that some teams were relocating from one city to the other. So I'm going to try my best here to feature all rebrands and also all of the relocations. We'll start with the rebrands, and as usual, we will go alphabetically. And I'll tell you why I don't like the franchise as is. The first one is the Detroit Lions. Now, I don't like this franchise for really two reasons. One is the helmet and one is the logo. First off, let's talk about the logo for a second. The logo is just so undetailed, and you can only see like three primary features of the lion. You can only make out a few, and that's the problem with it. It's not really very detailed, in my opinion. So what I would do differently is that I would make the claws more prominent. I would also try and redo the mane in a different color than the body. I was originally thinking, well, have it have a blue mane and a gray body. But then I thought, what about a blue body and a gray mane? No? So good. So, for the claws, I thought they weren't very visible either. So make them a different color while I add it, gray. And that's really what I would do. And other than that, I really don't have all complaints. It just blends in too much. Same color, and also they have silver helmets. I mean, I get gray is part of your color palette, but why not have blue helmets? Like matte blue helmets. Like why? It's just so bad in my opinion. And I'm gonna relocate the Lions anyway from Detroit to Arizona. Yeah, there aren't any Lions in Arizona either. However, I feel like it would be a much more appropriate location. Another location I considered was Omaha, but Omaha for me is just a little bit too small, so I decided to go with it and move actually there are 3 franchises in the NFL that I really like. The other one is the Cardinals. So, yeah, really like the Cardinals brand. The Cardinals will, of course, move to Chicago, where the Bears are. And we'll get to them in a second. I'm sorry, I keep overshooting myself here. But let's move on to the Miami Dolphins. Now, this is one of the most great franchises. I mean, I loved it when their dark green became more of like a light teal kind of color. And I think the orange remained the same throughout the 1990s. But I just love the Dolphin from the 1990s brand. So much more detailed, and I mean, this new logo is detailed as well. Don't get me wrong. I just changed the angle of it and then also give it a helmet, just like back in the day, with a big M on it. I feel like making it white would kind of complicate things. The helmet white would help it stand out more. So, and I like it from the original logo. So I just added that, and now it's one of my, if they would make that subtle change, I would like Dolphins brand all the more. I mean, come on. Next, the Philadelphia Eagles. Why? Why do I not like this brand? Well, it's the helmet. And I like it when the Rams do it, but not so much the Eagles. You know what the Eagles' helmets look like? Captain America's helmet. That's all I think of. The original Captain America helmet. The OG from back in the Infinity War days. That's what it looks like. I know it's not the same. There are subtle differences between the two, but when I look at that helmet, that is all I can see. And wings on an eagle aren't usually on its head. I mean, yeah, they have feathers on their head, but they don't have wings on their head. Their wings are more of a shoulder-arm kind of situation. So I'm wondering if they moved the wings from the helmet down to the shoulder, and the primary logo from the shoulder to the helmet, I feel like it would really help. Just to kind of balance some more. I also would recommend a bit brighter green. Not like what they used to have, but not their current green either. Kind of a more brighter green than what they have now, but a more darker green from what they wore back in the day. So, yeah, next up, some teams that I have missed. The Dallas Cowboys. Man, I mean, if you want to have the star, well, there are 3 problems. The logo, the helmet, and the pants. I cannot with these pants. Let me start with the primary logo itself. The logo is just a star, and you might be wondering, are they called the stars? Like a casual football viewer would go, like, is that like a common viewer who didn't know anything about the NFL but loved football looked on their helmets and said, "Is this team called the Stars?" And no, they're not. Are they called the Stars? No, they're not. They're called the Cowboys. And there's no cowboy on the primary Sorry about that. Man, sorry about that. I just got congested for no apparent reason. So, oh yeah, there's no cowboy on the front of their logo. And I liked it back in the day, you know, what they used to have of a cowboy on horseback. I thought that was very, very clever. And yeah, there are a lot of horse logos in the NFL. However, I thought it would be cool to make the horse kind of less prominent, like the Detroit Lions logo, except I updated that logo a little bit to make it more prominent. But what that old logo used to be, and now, yeah, now it's this, yeah, next, I will talk, the pants. I'll talk about the pants next. I cannot with these pants. Like, why is it this weird shade of blue? Pants, jerseys can be blue. They can. It works. But blue pants? Like, what are the Cowboys thinking? And it's more in their away uniform, so that would be fixed and changed to gray, just like their home pants, if they wanted to do it a different color. Or they could do it a darker shade of blue that would make more sense for the team. This weird kind of blue, light blue color on their away pants just doesn't look that good to me. And it would be one of the things I would change about the brand, absolutely. Let's talk about the relocations. Now, obviously I would rebrand the team, before I move, yeah, well, not before actually, after I move them. Now, I know the Bengals were in talks to go to Orlando, but that's where I would place them. Again, it doesn't have a really similar climate to India, but it kind of does as well. Tigers usually don't live in tropical places. They usually live in the jungle, but I don't think there are jungles anywhere at all in the United States. So I decided to go with Orlando this time around, because they have lots of palm trees and they could have a jungle if they, you know, had the land and stuff, but I didn't really have any other choice, so I moved them to Orlando. The Lions just don't fit Detroit, neither does the Bengals. The Bengals don't fit Cincinnati at all. And same thing with this next team I'm going to talk about. But after the move, I would probably change their logo. Like, that primary logo is great, but I want to see a secondary logo. And I would like it to be that mad secondary tiger logo and make it even meaner. How great would that be? And I love their branding. For me, it's just the logo that really bothers me about this brand. And the stripes on the shoulder are a little bit much, but I guess tigers have stripes everywhere, so it kind of makes sense. Anyway, moving on to the Boston Bears. Again, the Bears just don't fit in Chicago at all. There are no bears rolling around Chicago, just like there are no Grizzlies in Memphis, and there are no Lakers. There are no lakes in LA either, so I would really change that and just try and just move the team to Boston. I gave Boston an expansion team. However, I said in that video that if the Bears move, which would be great, they could relocate to Boston and become the second team in Massachusetts following the Patriots. But we'll have to wait and see. I don't think the Bears are planning to relocate anytime soon, but it'll at least change the logo. I mean, I don't know why the C and the flag point is so special to you. I would just have a mad bear head. And no, I wouldn't do the secondary logo because, yeah, it does look like a grizzly, but it just doesn't really look right to be the primary logo, so I would create a new Mad Bear logo. That's what I would do if you're planning to relocate or not. BCD. I would like the Steelers to also change their logo to a mad guy and construction worker wearing a hard hat or something. Or maybe even just a letter logo that looks like it's made out of steel or something. I don't really care, but their primary logo right now, a lot of people don't know what that is when they're looking at the Steelers logo. And I'm like, what is that on their helmets that they like so much? And yeah, I get it, it was an old steel company. But that company has shut down now. It has been shut down for years now. So please change your primary logo, Steelers. And I would also add some blue in your color palette as well. It's gotta be the Steelers or the Penguins, right? The Pirates, I would actually go back to blue and red, but the Penguins, I would love for them to go back to a blue and black and yellow color scheme. Same thing with the Steelers, but I only want one of them to do it. And I feel like if it's not going to be the Penguins, it has to be the Steelers. So that's my thought on the NFL rebrands. Also, two more criticisms, and it's for my favorite team, the Carolina Panthers. Why? And one more complaint about the Patriots as well. Two, actually. I'll get to them in a second, but first I'll talk about the Panthers, then I'll talk about the Patriots. The two issues that I have with my favorite team in the NFL is that their helmets are gray. When gray is it's not on the jerseys, it's not in the logo, right? It just drives me crazy. And I would also, for that light blue to become the primary color, not only on the uniforms, but also on the loin cap as well. Also, two more complaints about the New England Patriots. The Patriots. I mean, I get you have the red, white, and blue color scheme. Actually, three complaints. The first complaint is, why do you have silver helmets if gray isn't part of your color scheme? And yeah. Let's talk about the the pants next. I mean, the shoulders on the jersey, they have big crosses on them. Big X's on them. What is that for? I still to this day don't know what that design is. Why? And yeah, it just drives me nuts. Remove that from the shoulders. If you have bought a Patriots jersey, or you have seen one in photos, you'll know what I'm talking about. Or in video, I guess. But you'll know it once you see it. And the primary logo. This is where I have my most complaints about it, is that I don't like the Patriots' new logo at all. It was introduced in 2012 by Ken Lowe. I can see he put a lot of thought into that logo. He was trying to make it look like Elvis Presley, but every time I look at that logo, I always think of a bird with a star on its head and also some yellow with some red and white tail feathers. that is what I think of when I see this logo. And is it supposed to represent a bird? No, it's supposed to represent a patriot. What is a patriot exactly? Well, it's a soldier, basically, that served in the American Civil War. So, to me, that's not what that looks like, and I know there's a lot of people who do not like humanized logos. I get it, but I'm gonna have to do it here, because patriots, they're all in the past, right? Like that happened years and years ago. Sure, I'm sure there's still some today, but please, patriots, please change your primary logo to a mad patriot. It really would make sense instead of the bird logo you have right now. And comment down below, do you think that looks like a bird, in the comment section down below. The Patriots logo. If you think that it is a bird, comment it down below. Anyway, if you like logo branding and branding content, be sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my latest videos. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Kapow!